Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Hogwarts Legacy. Well, it's not really an episode or anything like that. We beat the main game. It's currently over. We did the whole campaign and everything. I'm still gonna make videos on it, as I've said through the while we were filming it. I plan on doing the Hogsmeade side quest, which will be in a separate video from this one. And we'll definitely do these last couple of main quests that shows us the true ending. Um, I don't know when those are going to go up yet, just because I do have Atomic Heart coming out tomorrow that I'm going to have to play and film. Um, but I'm definitely going to come back to this. I'll probably come back to it like somewhere in between me playing Atomic Heart. So we'll do these, and I'll also do the Hogsmeade quest, which is this one, minding your own business. We're of course going to be doing both those, like I just said. But I kind of wanted to just use this episode as kind of, well, this video. This is not going to be too long of a video, but I want to use it as kind of me just giving my thoughts on the game. Was that the right mask? Yeah. Just me giving my thoughts on the game and how I feel about it. So, as I said during the actual playthrough, I enjoyed myself quite a bit. Everything that was happening during the story I just loved, and I thought it all worked extremely well together. In terms of like the actual story, though, I thought it was good. It did what Harry Potter stories usually do, in the way that you just had this kind of light-hearted story and some very serious consequences there towards the end, and it just all came together very nicely at the end, and it made you feel the way that a Harry Potter game usually makes someone feel, or I mean a Harry Potter movie or book. It just made you feel like it was a nice story. You got to meet all these nice characters, and then it had a very impactful ending on you and the world of Harry Potter. So yeah, in terms of that, I thought the story was great. The combat was way better than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought the combat was going to be pretty, not bad, but I didn't think I would like it a lot, and I thought it would be pretty bare bones. But I was massively wrong in that case. There's a surprising little amount of depth to it, and you actually have like all this little stuff that you have to do to actually be able to attack enemies when it comes to the like shield system and things like that. So I enjoyed the combat quite a bit. I loved the amount of spells we have, and I think that the combat system is just very well done. It's more in depth than I would have thought it would be, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. In terms of open world, because I know that's a big one for a lot of people, the open world is really good, actually. There's a lot to explore. The game looks great. There's a lot of stuff that shows up in the books and in other Harry Potter lore that you do see in the world. It's a quite sizable map, as you can see here. That there's quite a bit to do in terms of content. You got bandit camps, layers for different types of creatures. You can catch creatures, get new mounts, do side quests, of course. You got the Merlin trials. You got these little ancient magic hotspots that will increase your ancient magic meter. And then of course you have field guides, treasure vaults, just a lot of stuff to do on the map, a lot of content here. And it doesn't feel like busy work. It feels just fun, you know? It doesn't feel like it'll get tiring at all. I mean, through my playthrough, I did quite a bit of the wrong thing. If we go here, I did quite a bit of the field guide, 75% in total. So I only have 12 more. Nope, 22 more in Hogwarts, and I have about 16 more in the Highlands, and that's it. Um, which is pretty good. In terms of exploration, I didn't do too much there once we got out of Hogwarts. But of course, as I said, you got the ancient magic traces, you got the balloons, which is you just fly through them on the broom and it unlocks new broomsticks. The landing platforms, which once you do all of those, you get the full set of Quidditch armor. Merlin trials, which every couple you do or so gets you increased storage for gear. Astronomy tables also get you increased storage. I don't know what this locked one is though. It must be from a side quest that I didn't do, possibly. That's the only thing I could assume. But yeah, there's a lot going for this world that they have built here. Um, I think it's a really good action game. I'm gonna make that clear. I think it's a good action game. It's not a very good RPG. The only RPG elements that this game has is the talent tree, which is nothing crazy. It's very standard, I would say, for talent trees. Um, Not being able to get all of the talents on one character is an interesting choice because there's not enough levels to get all of these talents, which I find just a bit intriguing to say the least. And then if we go over here, if I will do it, if we go over here to gear, the gear is the gear system is very mediocre. In my opinion, I don't think it's anything crazy. I don't know why we're just looking at his dick. Um, I don't think it's anything crazy. Because essentially all it is you get better gear, you equip it, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's based off your actual level, and they have offense and defensive levels, and then you can also put a trait in, which the traits seem to be good, but there's a little bit of grinding there. You do have to go hunt well, not hunt animals, but breed them and stuff like that, and that requires you to mess with the vivarium a significant amount, which is a cool portion of the game. But I think locking this kind of stuff behind messing with the vivarium is a bit weird, especially if like you got people who only want to do combat, because the vivarium's a very slow thing. You go there, pet, feed, take care of your animals a lot. Some people might not want to do that. Um, but yeah, the gear system is very mediocre. You just get better gear and constantly switch. Which towards the end there, I just stopped switching my gear entirely because I kept getting new gear. So I just gave up on even trying to do it because there's just too much to go through, and they don't offer too much. Each one is barely a significant boost. Like this one's only 3 points higher in defense, which is not enough for me to want to really do anything. 4 points, 5 points, so it's nothing crazy. The gear system is very basic. It doesn't have a lot going for it. And that's like the extent of it being an RPG is the level system with the talent tree and the gear system. And again, the gear system isn't good. The talent tree is very standard for like 10 years ago. Other than that, there's no RPG elements. There's no choices that matter significantly. You're going to get the same ending regardless of your choice. Your house doesn't affect anything other than the common room. But I will say that there's a significant amount of customization in the game. I do like the wand customization. I know some people don't. Um, the handles don't fit some of them. I will admit that. Some of them just look bizarre on your wand. Being able to pick your wand is cool though, because like I picked this. So I picked the wood apple. The wood type is apple. The core type is phoenix feather. I picked all that, which was really cool. to experience. That's the main thing. If you're a Harry Potter fan or just a fan of the Wizarding World as a whole, there's a lot going for you for this game just because it's very I don't know, it just gets you into it. You have a lot of very special moments, especially if you've watched the movies or read the books. It hits different than another game would. It's as simple as that. If you're not a Harry Potter fan, you could still enjoy this game quite a bit. The last thing I want to talk about while we're in this menu is the mounts and the broom. So the broom, I think, works really well. It's the controls are a bit iffy, just because one stick goes left and right, the other goes up and down. I find that a bit strange. Why not make it all one stick so the other stick can be used for camera? I don't get that. But nonetheless, it does. You can get used to it, and once you do, the broom actually handles quite well. Mounts are the same way. These mounts here, they they're essentially handle kind of like the broom, um, but they do take a little bit more getting used to. They're not as simple as the broom. There's also multiple mounts. I think these. So this one I think is from pre-ordering the game, possibly. This one you get just through the story, and you can't use any of the mounts until you get this one from the story. And then there's this one, which is from the Dark Arts pack, I believe, which is very cool. But I mean, it's fucking scary looking, so I didn't use it at all on this playthrough. And then also there is a mount that you only can use on land, and it's the Graphorn. I'll show that off real quick. But you only can use the Graphorn on land, and he's the only mount. Shit, sorry. He's the only mount for the land.
Ah, there you are.
Like, he's the only walking mount.
Go!
And I mean, he's cool. He's just really fucking big.
No need to race now, my friend.
But I think the game is good. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. And I think majority of people will enjoy it. And I think majority of people want a sequel or DLC, just because the world they built here is quite good. And there's just a lot everyone's like wanting to see come out of this game. Um, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video, because I don't want this to be a long video, I just wanted to give you my kind of general impressions and ideas after beating the main story and just everything like that. But the last thing I want to talk about is the amount of variety in terms of enemies. So when it comes to the main story, I don't think there's anything's too crazy in terms of enemies. It's different variants of dark wizards and different variants of goblins. So in terms of main story, it's nothing crazy, but once you get out of the main story in terms of enemies, that's where it gets really good. Of course, some of these are trickled in. Like, you fight a couple of these during the main story, you fight trolls towards the end, um, and you fight a couple of spiders at the beginning of the game, and then you fight these guys in the trials. But in terms of like when you get outside of the main story, there's a lot of really cool enemies and things like that. This one's also part of the main story, and that was a really cool episode. But yeah, once you get outside of the main story, I mean, as you can see, I didn't explore too much towards the end there, but there's actually a good amount of very unique enemies to fight. And then of course there's a beast system in the game where you can catch beast and take them back to the vivarium, and you can just breed them and pet them, feed them, build a nice little habitats for them. Right now you only have 13. This could change in the future. I haven't got 3 of them. I think one's the Thestral, and then I don't know what the other 2 are, but you have Mooncalves, you have the Kneazles, Jobberknolls, Puffskin, Niffler, Highwing, Call, Fwooper, Giant Purple Toad, and the Graphorn. So there's a little bit to do there. There's not much. It's not very expansive or anything expansive. It's just something to kind of give you something to do in the game. And I know a lot of people would have kind of been sad if this wasn't in the game, but I know there's a lot of people who just don't give a shit. Also, these have shinies. That's one thing I want to say too. These have shiny variants. So a lot of people are comparing them to Pokemon, except you can't make them fight to the death. Um, but other than that, yeah, this was just kind of my episode, just talking about the game because that final episode I did yesterday was just a little abrupt, just because I just wanted to end the video there because I only had like 20 more seconds to talk before the PS5 cuts off the footage. So I wanted to do this just so you guys have my thoughts on the game and stuff like that. And just so you guys know that I did enjoy the game, and I hope you guys did too. Um, if for some reason you skipped the series and are just watching this just to get my impressions, I recommend watching it. We had some fun, for sure. The first like 6 or 7 hours was a lot of exploration around Hogwarts and Hogsmeade. And then once we get past those parts, it's a lot of me just doing the main story. Because if I explored as much as I wanted to during this playthrough, we would have been here for 50, maybe 60 episodes. That's drastic, maybe 40, 45. But it would have been a lot. So I just kind of made the decision to focus on the main story there towards the end. Um, but yeah, that's going to do it for this video. As I said, I will make an episode doing the last couple main quests that prepare you for the owls and stuff like that. Um, and then I will do the Haunted Hogsmeade side quest because that's the only side quest that's worth noting. At least right now, I'll look into it a little more and see if there's any other side quests that are crazy. But from what I know, the Hogsmeade haunted shop quest is the best side quest in the game. So I'll be sure to make a video on that. Hopefully soon. Same thing with the preparing for the owls. I'm gonna try to make videos on that relatively soon. I just don't know when just yet because, as I said, Atomic Heart comes out tomorrow in less than 24 hours. So I just wanted to uh, let you guys know what's happening and just let you guys know my impressions on the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys want to see on the channel in the future. And I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Stay safe out there, and peace out, guys.